This is the Tracing with PrismScan tutorial in Scilab. Today's lesson I've gone ahead and prepared a bitmap, so I'm going to show you how to set up this file for scanning, how to scan it, and how to edit it after the fact. So to begin, with our file selected, we can double click on it to open the AccuScan toolbar at the top of our screen. And we'll want to start off by entering the Trace Setup window. You'll want to make sure that your tolerance is set to 2, corners set to 6. You'll want to make sure that speckle filter is set to 100 and is pixels and not a percentage. You can turn off snap-along lines to vertical and horizontal, as well as small shape accuracy, and do not worry about overlay. So we can go ahead and click OK. So with that done now, we're going to want to posterize our image. So click on that, and I would recommend that you use not 256 colors, somewhere in the area of like 6 to 12. So now I'm going to choose 12, and go ahead and click OK. So with that done now, I can click on my palette button here and merge my colors together. So I'll double click on black and it becomes my active color up here in the palette window. And I'll select the other 3 black colors and go ahead and merge them together. And I'm going to want to do the same thing for green, for red, and for blue. So with that done now, I can close out of this and go ahead and select the vectorization button. And having done that, I'll click close, zoom back out a little bit, drag our bitmap off so that we have our image here. So I'll deselect that and select our copy, and I'll want to ungroup everything. And that way I can deselect this square that's around my object. And I'll select the first part here and hit F7 to zoom in, and I'm going to want to edit the nodes where it is required. So this piece actually looks pretty good, so I'll hit F6 to zoom back out, and then select the second segment and hit F7 to zoom in. Double click to enter node edit mode. Now I notice right away that this is set as a corner node when it's not a corner, so I'm going to adjust that. And then perhaps there's a few too many nodes up here at the top, so I'll highlight those and hit U to select every second node. I can delete those. And the rest of the image looks okay. So click on the next segment and hit F7 to zoom in. And this top part here is not a corner node, so I'll change that, zoom back out a bit, select corner node, position it a little bit better. And lastly, I notice that this is not flush with this piece right here. So I'll just manually position that a little bit better. And that looks pretty good. So with that done now, I'll select this piece here. Again, I'll hit F7 to zoom in. And I'm going to want to concentrate on this area here, as the rest of it looks good. So to do that, I'm going to actually select this segment. And I'll hit F7 to zoom in. And actually I'm going to zoom in a little bit more here. I'm going to set this as a corner node. And with that, I'll hit F4 to refresh my screen. I'm going to want to turn on my grid. And I'm going to, with this node selected, hit G to center the grid on that. Or sorry, L. And then select this one and hit G. And that sets the grid up between these 2 points. And then all I have to do is reselect this other segment here and hit S to snap the 2 nodes together. And I can go ahead and click apply, click out, hit F7 to zoom back out, turn my color back on, and that's tracing with PrismScan in Scilab, and that's the end of this tutorial.